see, we got our closet doors installed. We don't have the pulls on them yet because they got to get all painted and cleaned up, and the current location for the pull hole is in the wrong spot. So we'll fill that with some Bondo, and then we'll sand it down, and then we'll put in a new fill hole. But as you can see, it opens up. It's a very tight fit on the bottom with the drawers inside the closet. We had to actually notch the door a little bit in order to make it work, but it does work. Same as the mechanical room, so this guy opens up right here, just like that, nice and clean. In the mechanical room, we did have to move the inverter because the door was getting in the way of it. So a little bit of a pain there, but not too big of a deal. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to finish all the trim paint in here, get that all done, and then I can remove the tape. I'm going to work on the heater. We've been having some issues with this heater overheating because I believe the pressure drop throughout the system is too high. So we need to make the flow a little bit better. So we're going to add one more outlet, and we're going to put in some smooth ducting rather than that corrugated ducting, because that corrugated ducting actually causes a lot of pressure drop, a lot of force that the fan has to use to push the air all the way through. But that's for a later tonight. Also, we got this, the bathroom door is ready to be installed. It just needs to be painted and all that kind of stuff first. Then we need to trim the door frame, and then we'll be able to install that. So yeah, that's where we're at. Just a couple notes on your closet doors. First things first, install your track and your holder to start. Then measure from your top of your holder to the bottom of your track and subtract about a ½ inch. Because what we did is I didn't do that. I just said, measured the full width of the closet space, and it ended up making the doors too tall, and I had to cut them down twice. So it added a lot of extra work and a bit of a pain. So make sure you account for your rail on the top as well as the holder on the bottom. So just a little note there as to some issues that could arise. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're going to paint this, then we'll work on the heater. So let's get to it. Alright, Beans. So even after ripping out about 50% of this corrugated ductwork, we're still having an overheating issue. So what happens is the corrugated ductwork kind of goes through some spots where I can't use straight ductwork behind the bathtub because it's curved and up and down and stuff. So can't use straight ductwork there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the fridge here and access the ductwork underneath here. And what I think is happening is either the piece of pipe that there is maybe is compressed, or when it goes from 3-inch ductwork down to 2-inch ABS piping, I think that's causing too much of a restriction to allow enough flow. So what I'm going to do is we're going to change that all to 3-inch tubing, and then adjust the hole in the side of the cabinet to 3-inch, and adjust the hole that's dropping into the bottom of the cabinet to 3-inch. And hopefully that allows enough flow that we don't get overheating. If we do still get overheating, what we're going to do is we're going to add another vent back in the bathroom, kind of right down there, right beside the, right underneath the cupboard there. That will hopefully then for sure allow enough flow. The reason that I'm doing that one absolute last is I want to be able to heat up the front of our bus, right? So if we put one there, we can obviously put a vent on it that faces forward and it will push the air up here and whatever. But the further we can get the air up into the bus before it is free from the ducting, I guess, will allow it to heat more. When we're dropping it off back there, the back of the bus is already quite warm with all the batteries and the solar and all that kind of stuff. It's already pretty warm back there. So by allowing air to get all the way to the front of the bus before it is not being pushed anymore, will allow us to heat the living portion of the bus much, much better. So what I gotta do is I gotta remove the fridge, and then there's an access panel and stuff underneath the fridge that we can pull out and take a look at what's going on over there. So let's get to it. so here's where the pipe enters. There's a duct that runs underneath there. There's an outlet here and an outlet way at the front. That's where the duct enters. And we've had this elbow in there. And a couple things. So it's a 2-inch elbow, which I think is causing part of the problem because this 2-inch is smaller than the 3-inch ducting. So I think that's causing part of the problem. But also, I think it was the restriction. Let me see if I can get it back. The restriction down in there is too much, I think, to go from the 3-inch to the 2-inch. So there's a piece of ducting way back there. You can see how tight it is in here. I think it's too restricting. And what happens is when that comes in here and then goes through that hole and into the bottom of the cabinet, it's just too much pressure and the fan can't keep up. So I'm hoping by upsizing this all to 3-inch that we can deal with that pressure drop and hopefully won't have any issues. But yeah, you can see how tight everything is back in here. There's not much space to fit a lot of stuff. You can see a duct way back in there. There's not a lot of space for stuff in there, but we'll see what we can do and hopefully we can get it figured out. Okay, so what I was saying is, so before the ducting used to come in here and reduce to 2 inches and then take a tight 90-degree bend into the ducting and then basically hit a wall underneath the ducting that's in the bottom of the cabinet here. But now what we do is we're basically taking that air from the 3-inch duct here, and all we're doing is we're compressing it like linearly and smoothing it into the area that's underneath the cabinet. The area that's underneath the cabinet is equivalent to 3-inch ducting. So it won't see much of a reduction here. We will see a bit of pressure loss, but it should allow a better, more laminar flow into the bottom ducting. So yeah, that's where we're at. And now we got to go and try and put the bus all back together. You can see this mess and everything behind me here. Alright, Bean. So I think that's kind of where we're going to wrap up this episode. I don't really know what ended up on it, to be honest with you. But we'll see when I get up to the edit tonight. So yeah, just a couple things. Give yourself more space than you think you need. I thought I could get away with, having about 3 inches in there and being able to negotiate a duct and get it all figured out. But if I would have gave myself maybe 4 inches or 5 inches, it would have made that job 100 times easier. So throughout the bus, we did create mechanical chases everywhere to allow to add electrical wiring, add this, add that. But it seems like so far I've made every single one of those too small. So when you're building your bus or doing any project, honestly, just think about, do I need this room? And if I do, can I get away with just adding a little bit extra? And I know here, if we were able to add a little bit extra, it would have saved us tons of time. So yeah, a little bit of pain in the butt, but we got it done. I think it's going to work. We'll test it tonight when we go to bed and see what happens. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, go down, hit that like button, smash the subscribe button. Don't forget to check out shopawb.com for all our latest merchandise. We got a new graphic tee and brand new vinyl stickers up on that website, so feel free to check that out. And also, don't forget to join us on Friday nights at 7 p.m. for Cocktail Friday. Cocktail Friday, usually we post the cocktail on Wednesday or Thursday every week, and then on Friday night we kind of hang out, have some chats, and show you what we've been doing on the bus for the last week. So feel free to check that out. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and have a great night.